Hey, what's up you guys? Marty Schwartz here of Marty Music. Thanks for hanging out for another Gear Thursday video. You guys have been asking about my pedal board a lot, or just to talk about pedal boards. So that's what I'm going to do for this video. This is the pedal board that I use to make videos, so it needs to be versatile for me. I get a lot of different sounds when I'm doing different types of lessons. So the first thing I'll talk about here is the board itself is just a flat piece of wood. You could actually make this yourself. I bought it from some custom company. I can't even remember. I've had it for so long. But basically it's just a piece of wood with Velcro material covered over the top of it. From there, I take Velcro tape that you can cut little strips off of, and it sticks to the bottom of your pedal, so it just can stick right down onto your board, and you can rearrange it. The Velcro I'm using is it fastens really tight, so it's actually almost, I mean, you got to use a lot of strength to actually pull the pedal off. The next thing is how I'm powering all the pedals, right? Different pedals that I have here work with different voltage and currency, batteries, the whole thing. So what I'm using right here, and I'm going to point with my headstock of the guitar, I'm using a Voodoo Labs Pedal Power 2. So this thing is fastened to the board. It plugs into a socket, and then all these little extensions here go out to each different type of pedal and powers the pedal. The very first pedal I have, and there's debates on this, is a compressor. Now I only use compressor with single coil, so in other words my Tele or my Strat, and even then I don't use it all the time. I find that I like it for clean lead guitar playing, like country style. There's just instances where it adds to that dynamic and a little sustain, and it makes it a little punchier. So I have that first. Some guitar players might want a compressor at the very end. Most that I've seen and most guitar players that I've dealt with would have it in the beginning. So that's the first thing I have. The next in my chain is my wah pedal right here. So a compressor is not always on, and then it's going to the wah pedal. Now I probably wouldn't use a compressor with the wah pedal anyway, so the order there doesn't really matter. So let's hear it. The compressor, here's the clean. Now with the compressor, all right, so then I've got this standard Crybaby wah-wah, which I don't use a lot, but when you need it, you need it. All right, next I have my main source of lead guitar and overdrive, especially for the blues and classic rock stuff. It's the Analogue Man King of Tone. It's got two separate channels on it, so it's kind of like having two overdrive pedals in one. This one here on this side is really a clean boost. So adds a little bit of that blues warmth, but also just gives me a little volume boost for that clean kind of soloing thing. So on the right side is really like the lead channel. And so let's see, right now the drive isn't cranked up all the way. I'll crank the drive, turn the volume down. All right, so now here's like a bluesy lead tone. Now, if you use them both together, it's madness. And I actually have a video just on that pedal so you can see the different tones you can get out of it. But for me, I'm using a clean boost kind of thing and then a lead thing. I don't usually use them together. I could turn the volume up on that. All right. So the next is, right now in here, is the Fulltone OCD Overdrive pedal. I have it cranked all the way. Now, I also have a bunch of different distortion pedals and a few different fuzz pedals. My favorite fuzz pedal is the Big Muff, and for some reason it crapped out on me. It's not working anymore. So I find that I enjoy the distortion, the hot distortion on the OCD the best. So right now, this is kind of the spot right here that I change out different pedals. It just fits nicely on the board. But so there's clean now with the overdrive turned all the way. Very different than... So I think of this pedal as more bluesy. This is like my rock pedal. All right. Now, now out of the OCD, it kind of has to traverse around. So some of these cables, patch cables, I'm using just standard patch cables like right here. But if you see this one, it's longer and skinnier, and you can cut them and make them your own size. They're called George L cables, but they're very finicky. I wouldn't necessarily recommend them. But anyway, you can find different brands that make cables that you can cut and make them the length that you want. So I'm using that to go out into this multi-effects unit. And this is the Line 6 M9, and I'm a big fan of this pedal. It gives me all kinds of versatile sounds. You can program 6 separate effects at one time in what's called a scene. And so the way I have it set right now is the setting I use the most on this M9 is this one right here. And you can program it completely. You can assign any effect to any one of those 6 inputs here, but the one I have set is the bass sound that I use in my loops. Yeah. Right? Nice, nice bass option when I'm creating loops or want to jam. Works really well for that. So that's the thing I use the most. I have a dotted eighth delay setting here that's very much in that. It's got a tap tempo right here as well. So I've got this dotted eighth delay, which gives me, I'll boost it a little bit, this kind of thing. So an echo effect. And then this one here is just the super fun, you know, get nuts synth sound. And so you can also combine effects together. Now, this one is based on a rotary sound. I was using it on the Chris Cornell sound. Here, what do I don't even know what I have, but I changed these out, so what is that? Chorus. Lots of different sounds, and then probably just some fun thing here that I don't use much. Oh, Seeker. So different, you know, just weird stuff. Then that goes, the M9 pedal goes out to my line 6 here, which I've switched this out. This is just where my delay is going to be. And I have a few different delay pedals. Right now, I'm using the line 6 because I've got this setting I like for lead guitar, kind of a little David Gilmour-ish. A subtle echo for lead guitar. And then I've got this setting, which is just a modified echo sound. Weird, but cool. And then this comes in handy, you know, once a gig, if you want, even that. It's a reverse effect, so I can just play a solo. You know, just a little fun there with the reverse. So from the delay pedal, it goes into this reverb pedal, which if I'm using my Mesa Boogie or a Fender amp, usually those amps have reverb, and I'll use the amp reverb. But the divided by 13 I use in these videos, it doesn't have a reverb in the amp, so I use this pedal, at the very end to get some reverb. So just a little tip on the pedal board thing. Wah pedals and compressors go first, and then distortions, and then at the very end of your chain, the very, very end of the chain for me is the looper pedal. Anyway, loopers at the very end. Second to the last would be reverb. So we've got this line 6. It goes out into this reverb pedal, which is just super subtle. You can hear it without. So this was a request. I saw a lot of requests about pedal boards and pedals. So let me know other gear you'd like to see me cover. I know there's been some requests for me covering some cheaper gear, which I'm looking into doing. But yeah, just let me know in the comments below. Thanks for supporting Marty Music. That's my spot here. And we'll see you guys real soon.
Close to nothing.